I think we're live. Okay, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to the third edition. Welcome to the third edition of Let's Talk Tropics. It is August the 4th, 2021. Again, it's the third night that we are doing a Let's Talk Tropics stream. Hello Sandy, hello Melly, hello Frandy, hello Havoc, hello Weather, hello Hugh, hello everybody, hello everybody. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and get started with this here. Hey, what's going on, Hurricane Discussion? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Again, third edition of the Let's Talk Tropics series for the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. It's August the 4th of 2021. We got a few things to look at here. We're going to first look at the National Hurricane Center. 91L is dead. It's no longer an area to watch, but we've got two things to watch in the Atlantic. We've got this thing over here, which is a tropical wave. So as you can see, a tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic is producing a broad area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are expected to be marginally conducive for some slow development east of the Lesser Antilles by Sunday and into early next week, while the disturbance moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Formation chance through 48 hours is at a 0%, but the formation chance through 5 days is at a low 20%. This right here is the same area that was showing up on a lot of model runs last night when we were doing this last night. When we were doing this stream last night, I noticed a lot of the models were picking this up, and I was like, it's possible that maybe the National Hurricane Center is going to mark this. And sure enough, when I woke up this morning, they marked this area, and now it's got a 20% chance of possibly developing, and the Leeward Islands may need to watch out for this if we do get more of a better chance of this developing over the next 5 days. And that African wave, the chances have went up, still has a 0% chance in the next 48 hours, but if you look at the formation chance through 5 days for this African wave, it's now at a medium 40%. So they got a little bit more confidence of this African wave potentially becoming a named storm. So a tropical wave is forecasted to move off the west coast of Africa by late tonight, late tomorrow, I should say. Environmental conditions appear somewhat conducive for gradual development thereafter over the eastern tropical Atlantic through the weekend into early next week, while the system moves westward to west-northwestward at about 15 miles per hour. Formation chance through 48 hours is at a low 0%, and the formation chance through 5 days is now at a medium 40%. We're going to be showing you guys here the GFS here in a minute, because the GFS's newest run is pretty aggressive when it comes to this tropical wave right here. But we're going to go over here to the Eastern Pacific. You can see, though, that the Atlantic is waking up. Eastern Pacific, whatever that I name was, Ignacio or whatever it is completely dead. I expected it to be dead, here we are, and it's dead. So, we don't have to worry about Ignacio anymore. He's a dead tropical cyclone, and I expected that. Last night, I even expected it, that it was going to die out. We got a few things over here. We've got Tropical Storm Hilda, and as you can see, as I predicted, 9E has regenerated into a tropical depression. We're going to look at Hilda first. This is as of the 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time advisory. Maximum sustained winds are 35 knots or 40 miles an hour. It's a still weakening tropical cyclone. It has a minimum central pressure of 1,005 millibars. It's located at 19.4 degrees north, 128.0 degrees west. It's moving west-northwest at 8 knots or 9 miles an hour. If we look at the cone here, you can see tropical storm force winds are more on the southern side of the circulation. If you remember yesterday, it was on all sides, but now it's either right on the center or in the southern quadrant of Hilda. As you can see, it's expected to become a depression relatively soon, if not even within the next advisory, which will be coming out here relatively soon, I would say, in the next couple of hours. We should be getting a new advisory for Hilda. It should become a depression here very soon, if it does not already become a depression by the next advisory. And once it becomes a depression, it should remain as a depression up until about tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, and then that's what it should possibly become, a post-tropical storm, or post-tropical cyclone, I should say. You go over here to the wind speed probabilities. Of course, it's still got a little bit of a chance. The chances are going down, of course, but even around the center right there, it still has an 80 to 90% chance of tropical storm force winds. We'll be looking at this here in a minute. That's 9E right there. Obviously, no chance actually of 50-knot winds with Hilda, and obviously no hurricane force winds expected at all with Hilda. We all know that for a fact. This is the wind history, as you can see. It's had a little area of hurricane force. And of course, we're only getting every 6-hour advisories because we don't have any tropical storm watches or warnings or anything in effect. So of course, we're only getting the advisories every 6 hours. We go over here now to Tropical Depression 9E, which regenerated, as you can see. It has maximum sustained winds of 30 knots or 35 miles an hour. It has a minimum central pressure of 1,007 millibars. It's located at 14.9 degrees north, 135.7 degrees west. It's moving north-northwest at 6 knots or 7 miles per hour. If we look at the track here, you can see the National Hurricane Center expects 9E to become the J name. I keep forgetting what it's called. I think it's called like Gilma or whatever. Hold on. Let me look at it here. Oh yeah, Gemina. I think it's called Gemina. Yeah, it's Gemina. It should become Gemina. Short-lived, by the way. If it does become Gemina, it will be pretty short-lived. It should remain as a tropical storm up until about Friday morning, and then it should become a depression, and then it should become a remnant low by the time we move into Saturday. But it should become Gemina, potentially Gemina, by the time we move sometime either later today or even tomorrow. Probably by tomorrow, even by probably tomorrow night's Let's Talk Tropics stream, we'll probably have Gemina. And you can see Hawaii in the distance, but this definitely probably won't be a threat to Hawaii at all, so you don't have to really worry about that at all. Wind speed probabilities, as you can see, are kind of going up a little bit. You look at the tropical storm force winds here, out to 120 hours. You can see there's a little dotted area of 60 to 70% chance of tropical storm force winds. And then you look at the 50-knot wind speed probabilities. Those even have a chance a little area of 10 to 20%. There's obviously no hurricane force wind speed probabilities likely, as this is going to be I would say maybe a short-lived tropical storm. We'll have to wait and see what happens there, though. But I don't really expect it to become anything too major. And then over here, you've got this future area of interest, and it's went up. We still have a 0% chance of this forming within the next 48 hours, but the formation chance through 5 days is now up to a medium 40%, so it's went up 10%. Last night it was at 30%, and I think the night before that it was at 30%, so it's only went up 10% in the last 2 days. But a broad area of low pressure is expected to develop a few hundred miles offshore of the southwestern coast of Mexico this weekend. Environmental conditions are forecasted to be conducive for some gradual development thereafter, and a tropical depression could form early next week while the system moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour, parallel to and offshore of the coast of southwestern Mexico. Again, formation chance through 48 hours is still at a 0%, as it's been for the last few days, and the formation chance through 5 days is now up to a medium 40%. Central Pacific quiet as ever, but you've got 9E over here, which could potentially cross over into the Eastern Pacific, and there's a little tiny chance that this could remain as a tropical depression up until it gets into the Eastern Pacific, and if it does, it could become Hone, but it's probably going to become Gemina here pretty soon, unless it stays as a depression Unless it stays as a depression, it should become Gemina and not Hone, even though we'd probably like to see Hone because it's been almost 2 years since we've even seen a tropical cyclone in the Central Pacific. Alright, so we're going to go over here now to Tropical Tidbits, and we're going to look at the current storms. So you got Tropical Storm Hilda over here. This is Tropical Storm Hilda. Tropical Tidbits has it at maximum sustained winds of 35 knots, which, by the way, 35 knots is 40 miles an hour. If you convert that to miles per hour, it would come out to 40 miles an hour. Central pressure, according to Tropical Tidbits, is 1,005 millibars, and its radius of maximum wind goes out to about 30 nautical miles. As you can see, Hilda kind of improved since yesterday. Let's talk Tropics stream. It's kind of improved a little bit, but this is probably Hilda's last little comeback, and then it's probably going to be dying out now. And I mean, there was a little area of negative 80 cloud tops right there, right in the middle of where the center's at. But that right there, this convection will probably be short-lived, and it should be dying out here relatively soon. We'll have to wait and see. You go over here and you look at the high res. We're going to let this load up here a minute. You can see the center is, partially exposed. You can see the center of circulation kind of spinning right over there. It's starting to kind of get a little bit covered up by the convection again, but I think this right here, this little convection blow up around the center, is definitely, I would believe, the last little comeback that Hilda's going to have. And, at most, I would say maybe 45 miles an hour from this convection would be the highest it would probably go. But this thing right here is definitely going to meet its demise here very, very soon. So we'll have to wait and see. You got some pretty good outflow, but this is definitely a weakening storm because you can see the circulation, the low-level circulation, kind of exposed, partially exposed. Some of it is covered up by the convection, but you do have some of that right there kind of exposed, and it's going to continue to kind of do that over the next couple of days. And those little pancakey looking clouds over there, those are cooler waters, so it's definitely, that convection is going to be kind of short-lived, as whenever it moves into those kind of pancakey looking cloud area right there, that's cooler waters, so it's probably going to die pretty quickly once it hits those cooler waters right there. You go over here to Tropical Depression 9. Tropical Tidbits has it at 30 knots or 35 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure of 1,007 millibars. And its radius of maximum winds goes out to about 40 nautical miles. And something I forgot to look at was the global hurricane models for Hilda. So they all agree it's going to kind of go in this immediate direction. All the global hurricane models agree that it's going to go in that kind of direction right there. Same with the GFS ensembles. They kind of agree now too that it's going to kind of go in this immediate direction as well. And then you look at the GEPS ensembles, still kind of going all over the place, as you can see. You look over here at the intensity guidance for Hilda. Most models do agree it's going to go beneath tropical storm status and stay underneath that. One model, which is the AVNI model, actually shows it maybe going back up to tropical storm status, but I don't see that happening at all. So don't expect, that's just one model. Actually, there is two models. One right there kind of gets it right at tropical storm and then kind of dies down, but they all agree that Hilda is definitely dying for sure. Go back over here to 9. You can see we've got pretty good convection there at the first few frames. It's kind of died off a little bit, as you can see, but it had some pretty good convection there at the beginning of the first few frames. That circulation, that I don't know, maybe the circulation may relocated to this. I have to see exactly if that's what happened. I think that's where the circulation is. I'm not too sure. But the convection's kind of dying off a little bit. It was kind of impressive for the first few frames there. You had some negative 80 cloud tops, maybe even a few little dotted areas of negative 80 to 90. But overall, it's not got too much convection. It's a lot more better than Hilda, of course, because Hilda's losing her convection. But you can see it's definitely still exists, and it could become a tropical storm here very soon if we do see a little pickup of the convection. And we look over here, the high res model, that is the wrong thing. It's the wrong imagery. I did not want to look at that. I wanted to look at this. Is Rainbow here? Yes, I am here. If I was not here, I wouldn't be doing this live stream right now. But you can see there's quite a bit of some convection blow up going on kind of north of the circulation. But you can see there's a little bit of thinning of the cloud tops around maybe where the circulation is right now, which probably won't be good in the long run for the storm, but there is some convection kind of blowing up around here at the top in the northern portion of the storm. But we do kind of got some thinning of the cloud tops over here where the low-level circulation is. We'll have to see maybe if that kind of starts to kind of get its act together and has some convection blow. So we'll have to wait and see. We go over here back to 9. Hold on a minute. There we go. Global hurricane models, they kind of agree up until about 48 hours out, and then they kind of start going all over the place. The AVNI model goes well far north. Most of the models do kind of agree, maybe in this general direction towards Hawaii as a, a post-tropical system, of course. And then you go over here and you look at the GFS ensembles, kind of agree up until 48 hours out, even 24 hours out, and then they kind of start going all over the place. Some in towards Hawaii and all that. I mean, the one thing that do agree, though, is that it's going to be a post-tropical cyclone at that point. And then the GEPS ensembles kind of agree that it's going to kind of go in this immediate direction towards Hawaii as well, also as a remnant low. The intensity guidance, most of the models do suggest it could get up to tropical storm force, which is why the National Hurricane Center has it at the potential of tropical storm force, but it only gets up. Most models don't even get it up to 40 knots. Some, one model gets it up past 40 knots, and that's the NNIC model. But most models that reach it kind of get it to like 35, close to the 40 range. So at most, we probably see maybe a 40, high end would be 45 mile an hour tropical storm. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then we go over here and we look at the remnants of Invest 91L. Hardly any convection going on with it. I'm even surprised that Tropical Tidbits, even still shows 91L. But you can see there's hardly any convection. There's little areas right here. It doesn't even have a low-level circulation anymore, and it's dead. It's basically dead. So let's just get a big rip in the chat to 91L. It's not gonna come anything. It took a big L, and it is a dying tropical wave, or not even a tropical wave. It's just a little floaty little cloud, I should say nowadays. For 91L. Global hurricane models all agree that it's going to kind of dissipate around here, although the NNIE model kind of shows it kind of going like this. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I kind of agree with these models where it's just going to kind of die over the Cape Verde Islands, or the Cape Verde Islands. That's unfortunate. And then GFS ensembles literally all kill it around Cape Verde, and GEPS ensembles kind of show it kind of going this way, but that will not happen, I know for sure. Intensity guidance, 3 models that still pick it up actually show tropical storm force, tropical storm conditions, but that's definitely not going to happen. So don't worry about D-SHIP or IBCN or NNIC. Don't think that this is going to happen over here. More likely this right here is the more likely scenario where all these models kind of stop showing it after 12 hours. Aircraft, there's obviously been no aircraft reconnaissance missions in the past 6 hours, and we've already looked at the satellite imagery. I think what we're going to do is we're going to look over here in the Eastern Pacific, not Eastern Pacific, Eastern Atlantic, because if you look closely over here, this right here is our little, if we'll let it load in here a minute. This thing right here is our little wave. That's going to be coming off of Africa here very soon. That little area I have circled, That's going to be our little wave that kind of goes in this immediate direction over here. GFS kind of shows it kind of going north towards Bermuda, so we'll be looking at that here in a minute. But it kind of shows it coming off of Africa, kind of getting pretty strong as a tropical storm around Cape Verde, and then it kind of just goes in this immediate direction for a little while, and then it kind of goes north towards Bermuda. So we'll have to kind of wait and watch what the models continue to say and see what it does with future 92L in the Atlantic. But that right there is our wave, and maybe even a little action going on behind here too that we may need to watch, and that the National Hurricane Center may need to mark eventually. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's our wave right there. Should be coming off here relatively soon off the west coast of Africa. So should expect that to come off relatively soon. We go over here and we look at the Eastern Pacific. You've got Hilda over here. I'm going to actually kind of get my little marker out here. You've got Hilda right here. That is Hilda. This right here is Tropical Depression 9E. Somewhere around here is where future 92E is going to potentially develop, and even that little area right there, this little area right here, that could even be potentially 92E, and National Hurricane Center may even mark that here as an official AOI here very, very soon. We'll just have to wait and see. So just give me a second, guys, so I can erase this. You can see the Eastern Pacific is pretty active. Now, you can see there's some activity going on in the Gulf of Mexico. That's just some thunderstorm activity that will not be anything tropical. And then you go over here, you look at the Northwest Atlantic. You got that frontal boundary that's been bringing some rain to Florida and the East Coast. That's kind of moving away. We'll maybe see potentially if something kind of tries to break off there and form into a tropical cyclone. We'll have to wait and see, because there are a lot of times frontal boundaries tend to kind of break off one piece. A piece of it kind of tends to break off sometimes in the Atlantic, and then it kind of gets a little bit of a spin to it, and it briefly becomes a tropical storm. Maybe something. We'll have to wait and see. Probably won't happen, but we'll continue to watch for sure. If maybe something tries to get going and break apart from this frontal boundary. And then you go to the Caribbean or Western Caribbean. It's pretty quiet there. The only thing you've got going on over here is just some thunderstorms from the daytime heating. That too is kind of dying off as the sun is now setting. So there's really nothing going on over here. And then you go to the Central Atlantic. It's relatively quiet to the north, but to the south you've got all these tropical waves kind of going on over here. This right here is actually the area that the National Hurricane Center has marked. This little area of disturbed weather over here. This little area that's circled around is actually where maybe potentially 92L could come from if it decides to, go up to a certain criteria. And then let's put it back over here. You then go over here, and that's basically it. For the satellite imagery. Now we're going to look at the forecast models. GFS is pretty concerning, all right, with this African wave. I'm going to show you guys, all right. So let's get the model run here. So you can see nothing really going on in the Atlantic, I will say. But then look, take your attention over to here. to this tropical wave. Alright, just take your attention over here to this little tropical wave. It's going to be coming off of Africa. Just watch. It gets a little bit of a spin to it. 2005, 2007, 2003, a little bit to the kind of southeast of, well, I mean southwest, I should say, of the Cape Verde Islands. 996, and it kind of starts get going over here. All right. Now watch this. Kind of dies out a little bit, and it heads a little bit to the north, and then watch this. It absolutely explodes. It passes by Bermuda as a probably about 954, 953 millibar Category 3 hurricane. And in the last frame, it's at about 949 right there. That's a huge hurricane right there. Let's look at it closely here. Let's go back over here. Let's go to the... where's it at? Is it right here? No, it's not it. Right there. You can see it. Look at that. Look at it approaching right there. Watch this. Just watch this. So there's Bermuda. Right there. Let me circle it so I can get a little bit of perspective to it. There's Bermuda. Right there. Alright. And watch this storm. This is for the GFS model. Look how close it makes it to Bermuda. Bermuda could even be almost right in the eye wall of that hurricane, which would be devastating, as you can see. It could go right almost into that eye wall of potential Fred right there. That'd be devastating. That'd be potentially a Category 3 at that point. We'll continue to watch these models for sure, because this will definitely change even within the next run. But this is something to look out for sure. You can see possibly the eye wall intercept right there in Bermuda, and it kind of starts to head off to the north pretty fast, as you can see there. So it's something you gotta watch. It's too far out, of course, but it's still something you gotta watch. It's definitely gonna change, and it's too far out, but you gotta watch it, of course. It's still something to look at. Because, you know, I don't believe Bermuda is going to get hit. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think they're going to get hit. I mean, again, like I said, this is over 300 hours out. This is like towards the end of August almost. So this definitely will change. We're going to continue to watch this for sure. This will, even change within the next model run, which should come out here relatively soon, I think. And it's still something you gotta gotta look out for sure though, because if it kind of starts to become more of a continual thing, then yeah, you would need to start watching out for it. But this is only one model run that has been showing this so far, so take this with a grain of salt, as this will definitely change, and this is over 300 hours out. This is towards the end of August, of course, so just take this with a grain of salt. Alright. Now we go and we look at the more unreliable models, the CMC model first. It goes out to about 240 hours out, but we're going to look at it anyway. So let's let that load in here. So there we go. You can look. There's the wave coming off of Africa. Kind of gets a little bit of a spin to it, but it kind of dies out. It's not like what it does with the GFS. It's not really It's not really consistent, of course, with this one. It doesn't agree with the GFS, I should say. It doesn't agree that we're going to have a, Category 3 hurricane. So it's you definitely got to take the GFS run with a grain of salt, because CMC model doesn't agree Navgan, has come out, so of course we don't really know what's going on with that run. Although the Navgan model does have something down here brewing in the MDR. So that's something to look at right there. And then you look at the icon model. This is the 18Z run of the icon model. And you can look here. It shows it coming off of Africa, kind of getting a little bit of a spin to it as well. It shows a few things. Hold on. But look at the icon model. It does show life. The icon model does show life here. Got the wave coming off of Africa. It gets a little bit of a start there. And you got something, you got the wave in front of it. That kind of gets a little bit of life too. And you can see, kind of gets a little bit, it's about 1,013 millibars at this point. Not too strong, but it would be approaching the Leeward Islands, and then you got the wave coming off of Africa, which still exists in the 120-hour time frame according to the icon model. So a lot of the models do suggest we got life in the Atlantic, but they don't agree on intensity yet. Just have to wait and see what happens. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to look at the Nino, the CDAS Nino. It's going down again, so it kind of went up a little bit, but look, it's kind of stabilized yesterday. It kind of looks like it's going to have like more of a downward trend again. So it looks like the upward trend was kind of very brief, and it looks like maybe we're heading back down again. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Now, what I've been hearing recently is that the sea surface temperature anomalies with like the CDAS, they haven't been updated since the mid-90s. So I'm going to be looking at something else when it comes to the sea surface temperatures, because this right here is kind of inaccurate a little bit, even though it is above average in most of these areas right here. This hasn't really technically, the CDAS thing hasn't been updated since the mid-90s. So technically it shows basically almost all the time above average around the Atlantic and all that. But we're still going to look at the sea surface temperatures. But yeah, you just got to ignore this because technically this really hasn't been updated since the 90s. And it's kind of been the same almost every year since the 90s. But you can still look at it if you want to. So you got a marine time heat wave going on over here in the Western Pacific, above average sea surface temperatures in most of the Atlantic, some below average around the western coast of Africa over there in this little area. The Atlantic Nino over here kind of trying to regenerate. Gulf is boiling, you know how it is. And then you got this, Gulf's pretty warm, 31, 32 degrees Celsius with some pretty hot sea surface temperatures, possibly even up to almost 32 degrees Celsius around here. It's kind of cooled down a little bit, I would say, since yesterday. But it's over there, Still around the 31 degree range around the Keys, as you can see. But it's still relatively very warm in the Gulf. And this is where we would expect the wave to come off of Africa, right around this area. So it's going to have that kind of 28 degrees Celsius waters to work with and to kind of develop. And this is where the wave, I think, is currently that they have marked in the main development region, somewhere around like this immediate region right over here, I think. And it's in those 28, 29 degrees Celsius waters, as you can see. So it has a pretty good environment in terms of sea surface temperatures to develop. Now we're going to look here at the deep layer wind shear. And you can see, look at this, all right? You know, there's a few areas in the Western Caribbean, around Cuba, and parts of the Bahamas where you got some kind of 25, 30 knots, 35 knots of shear. But look, most of the Atlantic is pretty favorable. This is pretty favorable conditions in the Atlantic. This is where that wave is currently. It's in 5 to 10 knots of shear, but it's kind of just north of this kind of 20 knots. That's still marginally favorable, but it's not as favorable as, 5, 10, 15 knots, But it's kind of in a favorable environment right there. And yesterday we kind of had the greens all over in the Gulf. We've got a trough of low pressure because the jet stream's kind of dipped down towards the Gulf Coast. And so, of course, you're going to have the wind shear being a little bit higher because you kind of got this little, you got the jet stream. It's you got this trough of low pressure that's kind of dipped down in the eastern United States, and it's kind of increased the shear around this little area because we've had a little dip in the jet stream in the eastern United States, where it's actually been comfortable around here for the past couple of days because of that dip in the jet stream. But there is still some favorable areas in the Gulf. But if you were to get something, from the Caribbean, you'd have to go through this. It would have to go kind of through this little region of shear, and then it would have to it would have a good area to develop in the Gulf. But then you got this area that kind of extends into the Gulf right here. So you have to watch out for that if you were to get a tropical system going in there right now. Of course. Now, we're going to look at the Saharan dust. Alright, this is the Saharan dust as of 8 p.m. You can see not too much dust coming off of Africa. It's kind of calmed down a lot, as you can see. There's still, some areas of dust in the main development region and going into the Caribbean, even up into the Gulf. But it's not as strong as it was, 2 weeks ago. And if you kind of play this a little bit, you can see it's not too strong. It would allow for development. So we're going to just play this, I guess, a few more times here. And this only goes to like Saturday, so this only goes out to about 3 or 4 more days. You can see dust really isn't too strong. Really too strong. So if anything was to kind of go south, like in kind of this immediate direction, and then kind of go up in the Caribbean a little bit, it probably wouldn't get, probably wouldn't be touched too much by Saharan dust, as it's kind of starting to fade off a little bit. Not too much, but you still got a little bit of dust, but it's not as strong as it was, this time 2 or 3 weeks ago, of course. It's not too strong. I mean, you still got some strong areas, but it's not as strong as it was, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, in the middle of July. It's not as strong as it was in the middle of July and all that. So it's not as strong as it was then, but you still got the Saharan dust, which is not as strong as it was, about a month ago. I go to Discord over here, which, by the way, if you guys want to kind of look at this, if you kind of want to look at this, see, dust is really not that bad. All right, some of this is contamination from clouds, but it's really calming down, as you can see. This is the dust. I couldn't really find the website where you kind of have this right here. I couldn't find that website, but you can see dust is not as strong as it was about a month ago. It's kind of dying down a little bit. But it's not as strong as it was. Some of this, as I said, is contamination from clouds trying to break and kind of disrupt the dust. So some of these pink areas, that's just some contamination from clouds trying to disrupt the dust. But it's not as strong, and it's not really too close to Africa anymore as it was. You got this little area right here, but it's not, too bad. I mean, we're talking, it's kind of down in this low sector of Saharan dust compared to, if you got in the pinks. That'd be, and that would inhibit tropical development, but it's not as bad as it was, say, 3-4 weeks ago. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as bad. Now you look at the sea surface temperatures here. This is the more accurate sea surface temperatures. This is the NOAA coral reef sea surface temperatures. The Gulf, a boiling pot in some areas. It's pretty warm in the Gulf, 30 to 32 degrees Celsius in certain areas. MDR is pretty warm too. And even right over here towards the Cape Verdes, the Cape Verdes are kind of starting to warm up. The southern islands are around 26 degrees Celsius. Northern islands are still in that kind of 24 to 25 degrees Celsius range. But, it's starting to warm up a little bit, and it's kind of conducive around this little area right here for development, of course. And it kind of you kind of get a storm, and then you got the MDR storm over here somewhere. So it's in these pretty warm sea surface temperature waters, but it won't develop until it gets somewhere up here, according to the National Hurricane Center, which those waters would be widespread 27, 28 degrees Celsius waters. So it's pretty warm for development, of course. It's not like rapid intensification type warm, but it's warm enough for some, gradual strengthening, of course. Now, if it would get into the Gulf, then that's where you would possibly see more of a chance of rapid intensification, but this would be more just kind of gradual intensification over here. I'm going to actually copy this so that I can kind of paste this in here. Hold on. Yeah. I'm going to copy this down here. So that I can remember to look at it. So let me go ahead and put that as one of my bookmark. Sal Dust readings. There we go. But you go over here to the Western Atlantic or Western Caribbean, I should say. As again, like I said, the Gulf is boiling right now. Temperatures between 30 and 32 degrees Celsius in certain areas. Even around Cuba, there's a few areas that are around 30, 31 degrees, 32 degrees Celsius. And it's, got a big widespread swath of an area of that 28 degrees Celsius waters, and that goes up, the Gulf Stream's about 29 degrees Celsius. But most areas, in the areas where you mostly see hurricanes go through, is widespread almost 28, 29 degrees Celsius waters, with the exception down here where we actually got 24 to 25 degrees Celsius waters. It's kind of cooler than average around here. And, of course, the Florida Keys is just bath water. I mean, we're talking 32 degrees Celsius. It's pretty warm there. And tropical cyclones could take some advantage of that. Even though it's closer to land and it's kind of shallow water, it could still take some advantage of that for sure. And I would hate to see just a storm come up from Africa do somewhat of a similar track to Laura, where it kind of goes through these sea surface temperatures and then gets into the Gulf and then rapidly intensifies and then hits anywhere from Texas to Florida. I would hate for that to happen, of course, but as of right now, I don't think we need to worry about that happening. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me go ahead and copy this website down too, because this is the coral reef thing. That's my extensions. I don't want to do that. Wait. There we go. But this is the kind of worldwide view of sea surface temperatures. It's kind of warming up near Hawaii a little bit. You got some 26 degrees Celsius waters near Hawaii. It's very warm around the bay, you know. Yeah, you know. I can't think of it for some reason. And you got some really boiling waters over here in this little area. The cyclone was to go through there, it would just utterly annihilate that place. 32 degrees or more Celsius. But it's definitely warming up. It's definitely warming up in the tropics for sure. Gearing up for the peak. The peak of hurricane season. And then you look at the anomalies. It's basically the whole basin's above average. So the whole entire Atlantic basin is above average. And then you got that maritime heat wave going on over here in the Western Pacific. And yeah, there's that basically. And then this is the Southern Oscillation. As I said, it is going down again. It kind of went up just a little bit, and it's now kind of going down a little bit. This is the Nino 3.4, the one that we look at. And again, as I said, it is going down. It briefly went up a little bit, and now it's going back down. So we'll continue to watch that for sure. But that's not the one you got to look at. It's this one you got to look at. It's went up a little bit, and it's kind of starting to kind of stabilize a little bit. Like it's right there at negative 0.2. It's like right there, negative 0.197 degrees Celsius. But it kind of went up. It kind of went all the way down to 0.3, but now it's starting to kind of stabilize a little bit, and it probably could start to go down again. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Because we peaked around the end of June. We peaked at about 0.25 degrees Celsius in the positive range, and ever since then we've not reached that. We've kind of been going down and up and down and up and down, so it's just how it's been recently. But really, that's all I have to say. We've looked at all the models. New model run should be coming out here pretty soon. Navgan, as usual, doesn't even have its model run out for like 12 hours. But, I mean, really, coming to think of it, this is all we've got to say. I mean, this is all I have to say. We got to watch out the tropics as usual. And, by tomorrow night, we could have, by tomorrow night, we could have this area being, 50 and maybe even 60%. You just have to continue to watch this for sure. And then Eastern Pacific, this could be a tropical depression by the time tomorrow comes around too. We'll just have to wait and see as well. And Hilda probably won't even exist by the time we do this stream tomorrow. And 9E will probably be that J storm I keep forgetting the name of by tomorrow night. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. When do you think we'll have our first major hurricane? I think we'll have it sometime this month. I have a strong feeling we'll get our first major hurricane sometime this month. Why do you want me to hide Jay? What did he do? What did Jay do? Someone explain to me. What did Jay do? Yeah, I would say sometime around mid-August would be around the time frame that we would see our first major. Yeah, we gotta wait like 2 more weeks before the Madden Julian Oscillation arrives in the Atlantic. Okay, Jay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down, Jay. Just calm down. What? Alright, I'll do that in a minute. What? Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Alright. But yeah, I don't know what to do now, so I assume. Give me a second, guys. Let me do something here. What I'm gonna do is let me log into my Roblox account. There we go. Alright, here we go. Let me get it upgraded. What are you playing? Well, I'm playing Hurricane Tracker Reborn. What else would I play on this stream? I didn't have 500 subs. That'll probably happen sometime soon, though. Can we join you in the server? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Eastern Pacific Low. Did not form, of course. Never does. Got a tropical depression in the Westpac. Expected to become a Category 1 hurricane. Now expected Category 1. Category 1. Looks like it's dead. Yeah, that's pretty depressing. It was supposed to become a Category 1. It's dead. It's completely dead. Looks like TD2 is gonna be the one that. Okay, Matmo. There's only one model showing Category 1, so that's pretty depressing. We got another invest. Tropical storm warning issued for, I think, the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. I think these are the Philippine Islands over here. Tropical storm warning and tropical storm watch in effect. Tropical storm warning in effect. Matmo is expected to make landfall as a tropical storm. Well, guys, you actually have to friend my other account, my friend's account. He's the one who owns this little server. Let's see, Matmo makes landfall as a 55-mile-an-hour tropical storm. I just realized I don't have Luca as a friend on my account. I just noticed that. Tropics is our next named storm. 65-mile-an-hour wind speeds with 88-mile-an-hour gusts. Expected to make landfall as a tropical storm, but quickly degenerate into a remnant low. Matmo is still a depression. Should become a brief tropical storm before making landfall in China or near Hong Kong. Tropical storm warning and tropical storm watch now in effect, and it includes Hong Kong. We've also got a cyclonic storm in the North Indian Ocean. Tropical storm warning issued for parts of Japan, including Fukushima, I don't know how to say that name. Tropical storm warning for a little area in China. A Chuck made landfall. No, it did not. A depression made landfall, almost. Let's see. It's going to become a storm. Matmo makes landfall as a 41-mile-an-hour tropical storm. Bulbul makes landfall at a 39-mile-an-hour tropical storm. Peibyuk is still... Is Hong Kong in China? I'm confused. Is Hong Kong in China? Check friend requests. Well, the thing about it though is that like it's not. This is not technically my VIP server. It's my friends. So you gotta friend my friend. I'll tell you guys his username here in a minute. Pubic is still a tropical storm as it approaches South Korea. Pubic has now been downgraded to a tropical depression before making landfall. Makes South Korean landfall as a 36-mile-per-hour tropical depression. We've got a low. We had a low in the Atlantic, but it dissipated. We've got a hurricane, or I should say a typhoon. Typhoon Raihu has wind speeds of 78 miles an hour, and gusts of up to 100 miles an hour, as you can see. We've got a low that will not become anything. It's a depressing low. We've got a Category 1 cyclone over here. We've got another low, which will not become anything, even though it looks like it's going to become something. It's going to make landfall, and it's going to die pretty quickly unless it kind of goes north. No, it looks like, yeah, there we go. I'm about to say, it was going to die eventually. I didn't know when it was going to die, but it was going to die. Hurricane watch issued for portions of China, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is China. Where is Hong Kong? I knew it was in China. Hurricane warning issued for parts of China. And invest in the Australian region. You've got a low pressure system that's likely to become something in the North Indian Ocean. Raihu is approaching his Category 1 hurricane landfall. And there is still nothing in the Atlantic. 37-mile-per-hour winds. Alright, here we go. Ray Hugh is about to make his Category 1 hurricane landfall. Ray Hugh makes landfall as a 79-mile-per-hour Category 1 hurricane. Hurricane warnings have been downgraded to tropical storm warnings. What's your friend's user? Minecraft Miner 91215. That's his username. We've got a severe cyclonic storm over here, Kostrubi, which is going to be expected to be a catastrophic Category 4 hurricane. It is rapidly intensifying in the North Indian Ocean. It's still expected to be a Category 4 hurricane. Tropical storm watch issued for portions of what country is Dubai in? Ain't it like in Saudi Arabia or something? Minecraft Miner 91215. It's in UAE. Oh. Alright, hold on. We've got a... Yeah, we don't have a hurricane watch or anything, but it looks like that Kostrubi is a very high-end Category 2 tropical cyclone. And it's about to make landfall here very shortly. It's an 110 mile an hour Category 2 tropical cyclone with gusts up to 140 miles an hour. Kostrubi becomes a major tropical cyclone with winds of 111, and it made landfall. I think it made landfall at least. No, it did not. It actually is on a weakening trend before it made landfall. It kind of went through a little eye wall replacement cycle, but it became a brief major hurricane. Hurricane warning issued for portions of the UAE, and Kostrubi has made landfall as a 104 mile an hour Category 2 tropical cyclone in the UAE. It is rapidly declining. It went through a little kind of eye wall replacement cycle before landfall, and it is now on a weakening trend. Kostrubi is now back down to a high-end tropical storm. He's coming on, guys. I messaged him. He's coming on. He should be coming on. He's coming on, guys. I messaged him. He's coming on. He should be coming on. We've got a low in the Atlantic. We've got a low in the main development region of the Atlantic. Moving very slow, 2 miles an hour, and we've got another area of interest over in the Atlantic. We've got Tropical Storm Alyssa, 40 mile an hour tropical storm. Got a tropical depression which may briefly skirt Hawaii. It could be a possibility. It's a 38 mile an hour tropical depression. Could become the next named storm on the list. Hold on. Oh yeah, because it's in the Central Pacific, so it's the first name in the Central Pacific, which would be Alika. I was kind of confused there. So we got two A-named storms in the Eastern Pacific. We have got a Invest in the Atlantic, which is just about to become a tropical depression. TD1 has been designated in the Atlantic. It's already July, bros. It's been pretty inactive in the Atlantic, looks like. You have Tropical Storm Anna in the Atlantic. Using this year's list, we've got a Category 4 typhoon in the Western Pacific with winds of 142 miles an hour. Hold on, guys. Let me get something here, guys. Let me do something here, boys. He's adding you guys into it right now, by the way. Just wanted to tell you guys that. He's adding you guys onto the friend list. And all of that, so just give him time, bros. Give him time. He should be on his way to doing it right now, hopefully. The thing about it too is you don't even have to actually be his friend for a while. Like, you just have to be his friend until he adds you, and then like you can like unfriend him. Lizzie, yeah. Lizzie was never added, bro. Man. Bro. They never added Lizzie to the thing. Bro. What the heck? Hold on, guys. I want to do something here. I'm going to put it as game capture because it's a lot better to do it as game capture. Alright. It's a lot to do it. It's a lot better to do it with game capture. There we go. Just give me a second, guys. Give me one little second. I'm texting my friend to hopefully let you guys get in here. What's going on? Oh yeah, crap, it's pretty active. Anna looks like she may become a hurricane for the first time ever in the Atlantic. Tropical storm warnings issued for the Leeward Islands for Tropical Storm Anna, and it could become a Category 1 hurricane. Tell me y'all's username so that... Yeah, tell me your guys' username so that he can, like, friend you, because he said he can't find your guys' friend requests on his request page. Yeah, I'm texting it to him right now. Is Roblox down? I'm texting it to him on Discord. Yeah, Roblox is having problems. He said he can't friend some of you guys because it's like saying that he's unable to friend you. That's an oof. Columbia Jaden, what? That's new. Anna is only supposed to be a tropical storm. So, that's an oof. He said there we go. Yeah. So he's getting you guys. He said it's working again. Yeah, he said it was working again. So I'm texting him I'm putting the stuff on Discord of the usernames so that he can friend you guys. It's slowly... Anna's pretty slow. Actually, no, she's not. She's going like 21 miles an hour. Is he friending us? Yes. Yes, he is. It's just taking him a little while because of like Roblox being down and stuff. So. Roblox is having some major issues, bruh. He said one of you haven't been on in 8 months. texting him the usernames, bros. So just give me a minute. I'm putting it on Discord, I should say. Oh god, Roblox is having issues, bro. Roblox is having a ton of issues. The one time I play it on stream and it's like having issues. He said he's adding y'all to the VIP server so that y'all can actually like continue to play it. And then what's the other one? Oh yeah. Oops. Okay, let me make sure I get this right. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me. There's hurricane warnings on the other side of the coast. For the Jivalila. Aw, oh, dang it. Hold on. He said he He said he accidentally unfriended you guys. Bro, what the heck? Bruh. He thought he unfriended. Golly, look at that. Bro, we got a Category 3 hurricane, bro. It's like skirting the coast. There's even a hurricane watches are up for portions of the Baja California Peninsula. This thing's gonna get retired, bro. This thing's literally skirting the coast. 80-mile-an-hour wind. Look, 80-mile-an-hour winds somewhere. 115. This thing's weird looking. Jesus Christ, 145-mile-an-hour report. Man, this thing's been pretty depressing for the Atlantic. Is Rainbow reading the chat? Yes, I am. That's a retired storm, bro. There's no way in the world that's Tropical Storm Bertha, bros. There's no way in the world that this thing ain't gonna get retired. There's no way. This thing's going up the Baja Peninsula. I'm gonna give some monsoonal moisture at least. Ow. Why did I do that? You disconnected? Don't worry, you'll be able to get back in. I'm trying to friend. What's the Kahoot code? Oh, guys, he said he's coming in and he's going to beef it up in the Atlantic. He said he's going to join the game and he's going to beef it up in the Atlantic. Oh, God. Prepare yourselves. He said prepare yourselves, bros. He said he's going to beef it up in the Atlantic. Yeah, he said he's gonna beef it up. Maybe. That's what he told me. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but Oh, oh no, bro. He even spawned a. Dolly. Emmett. Hurricane warning for the Cape Verdes, bro. Hurricane watches and warnings for the Cape Verdes. That's unheard of. You're just being left out. No, you're not. Don't say that. You're not being left out. He just hasn't gone to you yet, that's all. Dolly is now a hurricane, bros. Heading for the Cape Verdes. He said if your name's Cool Keeper Ryan and Texture's Tree, you can now join. Wait, did Dolly made landfall on the Cape Verdes, bro. Just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Jesus Christ. Hurricane Chantal, Hurricane Franklin, Hurricane Emmett, or Hurricane Dolly. It's 4 hurricanes at once. There we go. Everybody in here now is my friend. Wait, what was your username? I may have not told him yet. What was it? We got a major hurricane. Oh God. Chantal's about to make his Category 1 landfall. Franklin's gonna... Clear sky sunny? Okay, hold on. Let me tell him that. He said he sent you a friend request, John. Hey, you just gotta open it up. Hold on. Havana's reporting Category 1 winds. Key West didn't even record tropical storm force winds. Oh god. Panama City is in for a beating, bro. Okay, so he said if your name is Clear Sky Sunny, you can now join, by the way. So, there's that. Panama's about to get... Oh god, bro. Panama's about to get hammered. Let's see how high the winds go. 42 miles an hour, 47, 51, 57, 62, 67, 73, 80, 87, 93, 98, 104, 109, 113, 116, 118, 117. Okay, so the eye wall was like 118. All right. Bruh, he's back. He's back for more vengeance. He's back for more vengeance. Look at new advisories. I will. For what? For what new? I will. I'll look at the new advisories here in a minute. There's another low, bro. Bro. Bro, this is going insane, bro. He already friended you. You're already added to the VIP server. You can join if you want. Bro, he can't join his own server. He said he can't join his own server. He won't let him in. Okay. He said give him a minute. He's trying to do as many people as he can. Okay, he said he friended MCAT. I want to see Hector's landfall before I send this to him. Greg is still alive, bro. What the frick? He's trying to add everybody, guys. You gotta give him time. So Hector has made landfall. Highest gust though was like 40 miles an hour, so that's pretty depressing. Oh, he's at the... Oh, well. He said give him a minute, guys. He's just trying to... He's trying to add as many people as he can, so that y'all can come in here. Because once he adds you, he's going to unfriend you, because once he adds you, you don't have to worry about being his friend anymore to join. That's what he wanted me to tell you guys. So what was the next one? He said he's gonna join in before he starts friending more people. He said he's gonna do something. North America 2000. I think he already accepted you. I'm not too sure. He said he's gonna go check, so that's what he's gonna do. Okay, he said he added you, so should be on there, hopefully, he said. HQ HC10. Alright. Let's look at the advisory, though, first. Let's look at the advisories for the area. So, Hilda is still a 40-mile-an-hour tropical storm, minimum central pressure of 1,005 millibars. It's located at 19.6 degrees north, 128.7 degrees west. It's moving west-northwest at 7 knots or 8 miles an hour. As you can see, it's expected to become a depression very soon, maybe even within the next advisory or so, and it should become a remnant low by Friday morning. 9E still has maximum sustained winds of 35 miles an hour. Actually, the advisory hasn't come out for this yet, so we'll have to see what comes out with that. But Hilda's advisory is out. 9E's isn't out, though, yet, so we have to wait for that. Category 1 Hurricane Kiera. Mr. Animal, he said that whenever he adds people and he adds them officially to the server, to the VIP server, he says even if he's not your friend anymore, because I think he said he unfriended you, he said that you'll still be able to join even though he's no longer your friend. So like everybody that he added, even though he's no longer, friends with you, you're still able to join because he added you to the VIP server. So it could be possible that Hone could form in the morning, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright. Let me tell him that. Let him, okay. QZ underscore HC10. Alright, he said he's adding you right now. Okay, he added you. He sent you a request. That's what he said, at least. Fire Guy 2033, I've already added you, my dude. He's already added you, I think. I could be wrong, but I think he's already added you. Here, let me see if he... Yeah. There we go. He said he friended you, Fire Guy. So accept it, and he'll get you in there. Did you see Roblox Gamer Boy J show? I think I did. He's doing this as much as he can, guys, so just bear with him. He's just a human. Storm Spot 24. Okay, let me tell him that. There you go. He sent you a request. He says he wants to get back in, but he's overwhelmed by the friend requests. Coleman, he sent you... yeah, Coleman, he sent you a friend request, by the way. So... What's my name on Roblox? It's TWC Rainbow Roblox. What's my name on Roblox? It's TWC Rainbow Roblox. Timmy Grow. Okay, hold on. Yeah, he sent you one. Okay, Timmy Grow 03. Okay, he sent you a friend request, Timmy. Do you think 9E will be Hone? We'll have to wait and see. Let me see if he... I don't know. MCAT 10293. Okay, let me get MCAT 102-938. Okay, he sent you a request. I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm probably gonna end this stream. We're gonna do another one of these tomorrow. As usual, I'm probably gonna go ahead and end this stream here. Thank you all for tuning in to the 3rd edition of the Let's Talk Tropics series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna continue playing the Hurricane Tracker Reborn thing for a little bit. So there you go, and all that. But yeah, it's the end of the little Let's Talk Tropics stream and all that. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you tomorrow on the stream. But again, I'm gonna be still playing this game for a little while, so just letting y'all know that. But thank you all for watching, and I will. I'll see you guys. See you guys later. I'm gonna continue, as I say, I'm gonna continue playing the Hurricane Tracker Reborn game here on Roblox. So that should be pretty good for a little bit. So if you want to play with me, I'm gonna be on there for a little while. But thank you all. Want me to get on Roblox? Want me to get Roblox? Sure, why not? But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.